You wouldn't serve your dinner guests the leftovers in your fridge, right? So why do you keep serving your future self the scraps? Every month, the same script. I'll save what's left. And then life says, bet, and nothing's left to save. Let's be real, this isn't just a savings problem per se, it's a self worth and putting yourself first type of problem. You keep putting yourself at the bottom of your very own financial food chain, but not after today. We are done with the scraps. We're doing strategy. Paying yourself first isn't a finance hack, it's self-respect. It's the difference between surviving your money and commanding it. Because when a woman starts commanding her money, everything shifts. Her posture, her peace, her power. Once you start choosing yourself financially, you start choosing yourself emotionally as well. Let me tell you something. I used to be that woman who swore every month would be the one where I finally got ahead. Payday came, the bills went out, and I convinced myself that saving next time would be easier. But there was always another next time. I was hustling hard, doing everything right on paper, but still wondering why I never felt secure. That was my turning point, realizing that clarity doesn't show up after chaos ends. It shows up when you create it. Picture this. It's Friday payday. You've got your coffee, your to-do list, your plans for the weekend. You log into your bank account, and before you even think about paying a single bill, you see it, a transfer notification, $50 straight into your Momentum Fund account. You smile not because $50 changed your life overnight, but because for once you put yourself at the top of the list. That's not a transaction, that is transformation. You might be thinking, girl, that's cute, but $50 isn't much, and I hear you. But this isn't about the amount, it's about alignment. It's about building the habit that builds your peace. When you move like a woman who expects stability, your money starts to follow that exact lead. This isn't about guilt, it's about growth. It's about deciding your future deserves better than whatever's left over. You deserve structure, rhythm, and peace. Paying yourself first doesn't make you selfish, it makes you strategic. By the end of this video, you'll have the receipts, the mindset, and the system to stop saving like it's optional and start stacking like a woman who knows she's the priority. Peace isn't found in leftovers, it's created on purpose. And today, you start creating it. Let's go deeper because this isn't just math, it's conditioning. Most of us were raised in survival mode, okay? We learned to stretch money, not grow it. To hustle harder, not think smarter. To show up for everyone else, but ghost our own self when it came time to build security. You ever notice how quick you are to help someone else meet their deadline, but when it comes to your own peace goals, you hit snooze on it? That's not laziness, that's programming. It's just how we've been programmed. You were trained to put your worth in your work, not in your well-being. But that story is expired like the milk in the back of the fridge. We've been told that responsible women take care of everything and everyone. But the problem, nobody said who's supposed to take care of us. And if you keep pouring from a drained account, emotionally or financial, you'll end up bankrupt in both. So when I say pay yourself first, I'm not saying ignore your responsibilities. I'm saying stop ignoring you. You are the responsibility. You are the asset. The peace you crave starts when you start seeing yourself as the foundation, not as the afterthought. Let me show you what I mean. So think about your last payday. You probably paid your bills, your car note, maybe grabbed a little takeout because you earned it, girl. But by the time you thought about saving, your energy was gone and your balance was low. That's what I call the leftover mindset. The belief that peace can wait until life slows down. But life doesn't slow down. You have to schedule your peace like you schedule your paycheck. Imagine a woman sitting at her kitchen table, planner open, kids asleep, bills stacked. She moves $25 into her savings and sighs, it's not much. What she doesn't realize is she just made her first power move, because that $25 isn't just savings, it's structure. It's proof that she's taking her seat at the table of her own priorities. And if you've been telling yourself, I'll save when things calm down, I've got to tell you, Calm doesn't come first, clarity does. You can't build peace waiting for perfection. You build it by moving with intention while everything is still quite messy. Yeah, it's gonna be messy. But here's what happens when you start paying yourself first. The guilt fades, the confidence builds, and the noise actually starts to quiet. I mean, Murphy leaves. If you've ever heard that saying, Murphy's Law, Murphy packs a bag. You stop feeling behind because you realize you've been building forward the whole time. And once you start moving like your piece is non-negotiable, everything else adjusts, everything else falls in line. Your boundaries shift, your spending aligns, and your decisions get sharper. Because once a woman gets clarity, she's unstoppable. That's why this matters. Because paying yourself first isn't about greed, it's about grounding. It's about saying, I refuse to live in financial reaction mode. From now on, you move with intention. You build your peace one intentional choice at a time before excuses even have a chance to show up. Let's talk receipts because the math doesn't lie. You make $3,000 a month. Cool. Pay yourself 10% first. That's $300. Do that for a year, that's $3,600. Do it for 5 years, that's $18,000. And if you drop that in a high yield savings account earning around 4% because rates do change, that's your money working while you're living. But let's be real, not everyone can start with 10%, but some of you can start with much more, and so do it. However, if $300 feels like too much right now, start with $25 a week. That's $1,300 a year. You can literally build an emergency cushion using the same small amounts that quietly disappear on impulse buys or those I deserve this type moments. It's not about the size, it's about the standard you're setting. You've already mastered money movement. You pay bills, you cover needs, you even sneak in little luxuries. So now it's time to move that same type of energy toward yourself. Because when you start paying you, even a little, that is momentum. That is proof your priorities are changing. Your system doesn't need to be complicated. Here's what it can look like. Momentum money is your first $500. That's your confidence fund, your I can handle life starter stash, if you will. It's not about the number, it's about the confidence it builds. Get this in 30 days, preferably, then run it back and double it. Next is your stability fund. That is 3 to 6 months of your expenses. That's your peace layer, your reminder that you can handle whatever comes next. When the rain blows sideways, it's your umbrella. Then your freedom fund. That's your I don't have to stay where peace doesn't live type cash. Your walk away money, the fund that lets you choose instead of chase. This is where you get into funding your IRA, your Roth IRAs, and taxable brokerage accounts. And if you're thinking, this will take forever, let's flip the math. If you save $100 a month, that's $1,200 in a year. Add around about 4% interest and consistency, and in 5 years, that's over $6,500. And that's without even increasing your deposits. Small, consistent moves compound faster than big, inconsistent, whenever you feel like it type of moves. Let me give you a visual. Imagine your savings account as a quiet assistant working 24/7 in the background. Every deposit is an assignment. Here, protect my peace. You're not hustling harder, you're just redirecting energy. And that's how you turn stress into strategy. And listen, this isn't about hoarding money or anything like that. It's about holding power. Every deposit you make is proof that you are your own safety net. You don't have to pray for peace when you've already funded it. And that's a bar, I'm sorry. When you start seeing these balances grow, something shifts. You stop checking your account with anxiety and you start checking it with authority. That's not ego, that's evidence. So the next time someone tells you saving can wait, remind them peace doesn't wait for a raise, a new job, a perfect moment. It starts the second you pay yourself first. So let's talk about why you're still stuck. You've been playing financial defense, reacting to every bill, every emergency, every unexpected moment. You tell yourself, once I have extra, that's when I'll start saving. But there's never extra, right? Because something always comes up first, and it always takes priority over you. It's always going to do that. That is the trap. If you wait for leftovers, you'll always end up hungry. Peace doesn't come from what's left. It comes from what's planned. Here's the shift. Stop waiting to have extra before you save. You'll never feel ready. You don't build readiness, you build rhythm. The first time you move money into savings before paying bills, it'll feel quite strange, maybe even wrong. But that's your old wiring trying to keep you comfortable. Comfort doesn't create freedom, discipline does. I remember the first time I set up automatic transfers. It was $25 a week, small but consistent. The first month I barely noticed it. The second month I realized that I hadn't touched that month before. But by month 3, I had $300 saved without stress. That's when I understood automation isn't control, it's peace on autopilot. So here's your new rule. Automate before you rationalize. The second your paycheck lands, that transfer hits your savings. No questions, no I'll do it later. You can't overthink what's already automated. Let your discipline protect your peace. So let's set the scene. Payday hits, your bills are still waiting, but you already moved money into your momentum fund. That's the kind of confidence that makes you walk a little bit taller. That's the kind of energy that reminds you that you're in control, not your bills, not your debt, not your circumstances. And let's be clear, peace doesn't mean perfection. You'll still have surprise expenses, but the difference is you'll face them with preparation instead of panic. That's what paying yourself first really gives you. It gives you options. Options to pause, options to pivot, options to breathe. You'll notice something powerful once you start. The guilt fades. You stop apologizing for wanting stability. You stop justifying rest. You stop confusing peace with privilege. You realize that being unbothered financially isn't luck, it's leadership. So the next time you catch yourself thinking, I'll start next month, remember this. Peace delayed is peace denied. Set it, forget it, let it build. Because financial freedom doesn't start with big moves. It starts with consistent, quiet ones. So let's break this down, because knowing what to do means nothing if you don't do it. So step 1, name your money. Money without identity gets mistreated. So label your accounts. Momentum money, stability fund, freedom fund. These are your savings accounts. When your money has a name, it gains purpose. It's harder to spend what's already assigned to your peace. When you rename your savings account, you don't just change a label, you change your mindset. Suddenly that balance looks like a promise, not a number. Step 2, automate your wins. You won't always feel like saving, but your system doesn't care about feelings. It don't. It cares about consistency. Automate your transfers the day your paycheck hits, whether it's $25 or $250 or whatever number feels good to you. Move it before emotion steps in. That's how you protect your progress from impulses. Every automated move is a small act of rebellion against chaos. Step 3, track with intention. You don't need to be an Excel queen or a spreadsheet soldier unless that's your vibe. And sometimes it's my vibe, I'm going to be honest. But you just need awareness. Check in weekly, not obsessively. Look at what's working and what's not. Progress isn't perfection, it's about participation. When you track with intention, you replace avoidance with accountability. You stop asking, where did my money go? And you start saying, here is what my money did. Step 4, make it visual. We don't do boring money over here. Print a tracker, color some boxes, create a vision board, make your growth visible. Because when you see progress, you stay motivated. Romanticize your routine. I love romanticizing stuff. Romanticize your routine. Light a candle. Check your accounts with your favorite playlist playing in the background. Sip something that feels luxurious. Give thanks for what's building quietly behind the scenes. Peace is built in those private moments. Step 5, celebrate deposit. I don't really care if it's $10 or $1,000. Celebrate it. That deposit is evidence that you're different now. You're no longer waiting to feel ready. You're proving you're consistent. Small wins turn into stacked up peace. Clap for yourself, loud enough for the old version to hear you. Because if you don't celebrate your progress, you'll start believing it's not enough. And remember this, you're not saving to restrict yourself, you're saving to resource yourself. You're giving yourself access, options, and breathing room. This is how women build soft lives without losing their edge. You're not saving for someday, you're saving so that every day feels like yours. Because systems don't steal freedom, they create it. And once your money is automated, named, and celebrated, peace becomes your default, not your reward. Saving is 20% math and 80% mindset, which means if the math isn't mathing, it's probably the mindset that's the issue. Let's clean up the inner dialogue that's been running your money moves on autopilot. Say, I'm not saving to punish myself, I'm saving to protect my peace. Saving isn't about saying no, it's about saying later. Later to stress, later to panic, later to borrowing from your future. You're not depriving yourself, you're building your shield. Every deposit is an act of protection, not restriction. That's how women move when they're done living in defense mode. 2, slow progress still counts. We live in a culture that chases overnight wins, chase get rich quick. But real peace is built in real time. $5 a day becomes $150 a month. That's gas or a bill covered without breaking a sweat. You don't need dramatic growth to be powerful. You need consistent proof that you keep showing up for yourself. Progress doesn't have to be loud to be life-changing. Number 3, my money reflects my priorities. Look at your spending and saving in a mirror. Every transaction tells a story about what you value. If peace is your new luxury, your transfers are your receipts. Every time you move money into your momentum or your stability fund, you're saying, I choose me on purpose without apology. And here's one for the bold girls. I can be soft and strategic at the same time. You don't have to choose between nurturing and numbers, between faith and formulas. You can be gentle with yourself while being firm with your goals. Soft doesn't mean small, it means secure. Strategy doesn't make you cold, it makes you covered. Let's take it one step deeper. When you stop attaching shame to money, you start building from strength instead of scarcity. You start realizing that discipline isn't punishment, it's preparation. The version of you that's building right now, she's not struggling, she's strengthening. And that mindset, that energy, that is what creates momentum that lasts. So the next time you catch yourself saying, I'm behind, stop and reframe it. You're not behind, you're becoming. This version of you is the foundation for every financial win that's coming next. She's not waiting for approval. She's writing her own permission slip. This isn't just about money. This is about energy. When you start paying yourself first, you stop performing strength and start living it. You stop waiting for security and you start building it. You stop being the woman who says, I'll figure it out later, I'll get to it later, and become the one who already did. Your future self is watching this moment. That is a word. Your future self is watching this moment. Your future self is saying, finally, she gets it. She's not proud because you saved a certain dollar amount. She's proud because you stopped shrinking. You stopped treating peace like a privilege and started treating it like a priority. So let's be real. Peace doesn't mean your life gets easy. It means you get equipped. It means when life happens, because it's going to happen, it's going to life, you've got options. You've got breathing room. You've got a plan. And that is power. That is wealth in motion. Visualize this 6 months from now. Your bills are paid on time. Your savings is steady. And that financial anxiety that used to live rent-free in your head is gone. You don't need $1 million to feel rich. You just need rhythm, clarity, and consistency. Because freedom doesn't show up when you hit a certain number. It shows up when you start living differently. And when you walk like a woman who has peace, everything around you starts aligning to match it. You stop entertaining chaos. You stop explaining your boundaries. You stop making panic decisions. That calm you feel, that is your currency. Here's what I want you to remember. Wealth isn't about what's in your account. It's about what's in your control. The moment you decided to pay yourself first, you took control back from everything that ever made you feel powerless. And that's the real transformation. So if this message hit home, don't just nod, act. Grab your free Your Money Era Starter Guide. The link is in the description. It's your next move from chaos to clarity, from someday to started. Because peace doesn't come from leftovers, it comes from plans. You deserve clarity, you deserve confidence, you deserve cash flow, and you deserve to feel free in your own life, not eventually, but right now. This is your moment. Pay yourself first, not last. Build your rhythm, protect your peace, walk like a woman who's already arrived. Welcome to Your Money Era. Let's make her proud. And let's be clear, peace doesn't mean perfection. You'll still, I'm sorry. It made me think about the guy who imitates Kamala, and he's like, let me be clear. Okay, let me run it back. All right, and let's